Now, from Wish TV, this is The Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank. Coming up tonight, after a holiday break, the high school sports season picks back up. In the Coach's Corner, we're joined by the man leading the second-ranked boys basketball team in the state. Plus, our athlete of the week is looking to win a girls wrestling state championship.
It would mean a lot to me. I would definitely take my opportunities and get better at practice and try my hardest.
We're celebrating a new year of the Zone Extra right now.
Hi, everybody. Good evening to you, and welcome to the first Zone Extra of 2025. I'm Anthony Calhoun. What a great time as action picks back up after the holiday season. In the Coach's Corner, his Wildcats are ranked second in the state and winners of 8 straight games. Lawrence North boys basketball coach Chris Giffin is here in studio for a great conversation. Can't wait to talk to him. Plus, our athlete of the week is a girls wrestling sectional champion from Roncalli. We're introduced you to Royals junior Claire May. And we connect with IHSA Commissioner Paul Neidig for our first Ask the Commissioner segment of the year. Now, let's take a look at the Central Indiana High School sports scene. Each year over the holidays, one of the best events is always the Hall of Fame Classic in Newcastle. On the boys' side, #1 Fishers face #4 Greenfield Central for the title. End of the first quarter, check out Boston Willard from 3/4 court there, banks it in, the buzzer there, that's good. Greenfield Central within 3. Move ahead to the third, that's Braylon Mullins, rattles in the 3 for the Cougars. The UConn commit, he had 33 on the night. Brings the team within 8, but too much from the top-ranked Tigers. Cooper Zachary finds Millen McCartney for the 3. Fishers remains unbeaten with an 85-80 victory for them. Okay, so here's a look at the Class 4A boys basketball rankings. Fishers #1, Lawrence North 2, Northridge 3, Greenfield Central 4, and Crown Point running out the top 5 there in the boys Class 4A. Okay, in the girls Hall of Fame championship, it was #1 against #2 as Lawrence Central faced Hamilton Southeastern. Second quarter we go, Bears quickly up the floor. Jayla Lampley lays it in. Game's tied there. Move ahead to the fourth where it's a 1-point game. You got a Holmes drives, gets the bucket and the foul. HSC led by 4 within a minute left to go. LC not going away though, down 2 with under 20 seconds left. Anaya McKenzie driving and get the basket to go, lays it home to tie the game. Under 2 seconds left, Royals with a chance to win it off the inbound. Grinley, the lob to Addison Van Hoosen, who scores as time expires. HSC wins a thriller. 52-50 is the final. All right, now let's take a look at this week's girls 4A rankings here. HSC #1, Lawrence Central 2, Warsaw 3, you got Homestead 4, and South Bend, Washington rounding out the top 5 there in the girls Class 4A rankings. All right, moving to wrestling tonight where it's a busy time for both the boys and the girls. On the boys' side, Saturday is the Coaches Association Team State Championships held at 4 locations across the state. Now, and in the girls' wrestling, last Friday was the start of the first ever IHSA postseason tournament with sectionals taking place at 16 locations across the state. Central Indiana sectional champions include Lawrence Central, Franklin Central. We got Mooresville, Whiteland, and Frankton. Action continues tomorrow with the regionals. The state finals will take place in just over a week on January the 17th at the Indiana State Fairgrounds Coliseum. Meanwhile, in the pool tonight, it was a busy time the past couple of weeks for boys and girls swim teams. Last Saturday, Center Grove hosted the Holiday Invitational, and it was a good day for the Trojans as the 5th-ranked boys team was victorious over runner-up Homestead and 3rd place Bloomington South. Now, the girls team also notched a win in the event. Congrats to the Trojans. Job well done by them. All right, time for a break, but we have much more ahead tonight on the Zone Extra. Let's coming your way. Up next is the Coach's Corner. Yeah, his Wildcats are ranked second in the state and winners of 8 straight games. Lawrence North boys basketball coach Chris Giffin is here for a great conversation. And still ahead, the first IHSAA girls wrestling state tournament is underway, and Arroyo is chasing a championship. We'll introduce you to our athlete of the week from Roncalli. That's coming up.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank. This is the Zone Extra Coach's Corner.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Zone Extra. Anthony Calhoun here with you tonight. Time now for our Coach's Corner. His team is riding an 8-game winning streak, folks, and currently ranked number 2 in the state. Please welcome to the Zone Extra tonight, Lawrence North boys basketball head coach Chris Giffin here. Great to see you as always, Coach. And
pleasure to be here.
Appreciate you taking the time. A lot of coaches can't say they're riding an 8-game winning streak, especially here in the state of Indiana, where you know basketball is always elite. Take us through it. What has been the difference here for the Wildcats?
Well, we stumbled out of the gates and lost a game over at Crispus Attucks, and they played really well. We didn't play so well, and really since that time, we've cut down on our turnovers. We're handling the ball really well. We're not as deep as we were last year, but we've got 6 to 7 that we really like, and they're all very impactful up and down that 6 or 7. And our defense has been extraordinary during that 8-game win streak.
Yeah, as we take a look at some video here of your team, you guys practicing here, and what has been working so well for you guys right now?
I think we're difficult to defend against because we've got a lot of star power, and that star power is both inside and outside. So we can hurt you from the perimeter and hurt you inside in the paint. And I think that kind of dual threat and that balance up and down those 6 or 7 that I mentioned, it makes us very difficult to defend and game plan for.
So 8-1 on the year, ranked number 2 in 4A, and you all have not just been beating teams, but you literally have been beating teams. Averaging over 20 points a game in these past few wins here for you guys? A winning percentage as far as beating the teams, beating them by 20 or more?
Yeah, we've really got it going. Both ends. I think it starts with our defense, and it certainly has led us to, in many cases, margins where we're then able to expand those margins with what we're doing on the offensive end.
Yeah, when you look at your team and you're there with them every day in practice, and what is it about this team, would you say, where you guys can see some growth, as far as gearing up for another month away before you get ready for the postseason?
Yeah, I think our depth, as I mentioned earlier, isn't quite what it was. So I'd like to see us potentially develop a little more depth. But having said that, I think, the stamina and the conditioning of those top 6 or 7 is really good. And we've got great leadership from our senior class, led by Xavier Robinson, who's going to Butler. He's committed to Butler.
Yeah.
And then right through those juniors that I've got, Brendan Miller, Kai McGrew, Cam Webster, Jamar Thomas, Duke Carnes. These are guys that are all contributing at a high level.
Marion County coming up next week, a tournament you know very well with. You're defending the title coming up next week. Give me your thoughts on this matchups that you're going to see next week. It's always competitive, and every year you're not sure who's going to win because the competition is such at a high level.
Yeah, I think, there's a lot of really good teams and really good coaches in our county each year.
Yeah.
Years ago, I learned from Coach Kiefer that, sometimes he thought it might have been harder to win the county than it was to win a state.
Wow.
Just because you had to win 4 games in a week against the toughest competition in Central Indiana. And so we're looking forward to it. We think it's a good barometer. We feel really good about obviously having done that last year, and also the opportunity in front of us to potentially go out and try and repeat.
Yeah, so year 3 for you as a coach there at LN, but we all know the story. You coached the girls team as well, won a state title with them. What is it about this community at LN that makes you want to continue to give back, not just on the court, but off the court as well with all these student athletes?
Yeah, I think it's a lot about loyalty and the people. I've had great people that have enabled me and given me the opportunity to do what I've been able to do. We've been able to do on the girls and boys side, and the people in Lawrence are second to none, and have afforded me so many opportunities. I feel very grateful to have that opportunity.
Yeah, we see you here talking to your team here, and you can tell they have the utmost respect for you. All right, Coach, so we got a little surprise for you. You don't know what we're going to do here, so I want you to take a look at this. Just take a look at the video screen. Take the screen right now. We got something special for you here.
Okay.
It means a lot. You know, it was an easy transition going from playing varsity my first year with Coach Giffin to playing with Coach Giffin. Before Coach Giffin retired, he told me that it was going to be a new coach that's similar to him. And I seen the similarities, and I just kept playing my role, and it was definitely an easy transition going into that.
Playing for this coach is pretty special because this was the coach that I had since freshman year, my first year being here. And also it's a family moment too because he coached my sister all through high school, so having him too, I always been around, just seeing him. Just his passion for the game that we really like, and we know that his offense works, so we try to just execute his things. And it's just really special. Somebody who pushes us, somebody who'll go out for us, somebody who goes all the way for our recruitment and everything. So it's a special moment just to be able to play for him.
You got to love that from those guys.
It means a lot.
of respect for you.
Yeah, it means a lot. That's great.
Before we get you out of here, I want to ask you, as you get ready, you got a few more weeks and then we get sectionals coming out.
Sure.
What is the goal for this team moving forward here? What's the focus?
Well, I think, you want to win championships. You want to be able to compete this next week and win at Marion County again, and then you want to win as many games you can down the stretch and get ready for sectionals. I think we have the team certainly that's capable of making a state run, but there are a lot of great teams out there, starting with Fishers, who's won it last year, and they're number one again for a reason. And they're extremely well coached, and they're really good. And there's a lot of other really good teams too. So we'll have to be ready.
Well, I got to say, 8 wins in a row. Job well done, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Good luck the rest of the way, and who knows? Maybe talking with you guys. Maybe we may bring you back.
I hope
you
so.
Win a state championship.
I'm going to hold you to that.
Okay, we will do it indeed. All right, we're taking a break. More coming your way here tonight, folks, from the Zone Extra. It's our athlete of the week. She's a Roncalli Jr. chasing an IHSA Girls Wrestling State Championship coming up. We're going to meet the Royal Claire May. That's on the way. Plus, we go on campus tonight at Purdue with former Heritage Christian standout Miles Colvin. That's on the way.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank.
Okay, welcome back to the Zone Extra. Anthony Calhoun here with you tonight. Last week, the first ever IHSA Girls Wrestling State Tournament got underway with sectionals, and a Roncalli Jr. is chasing an individual championship. Claire May won a sectional championship last week at 100 pounds and advanced to the regional round Friday. For the season, May has a 23-1 record. She says she started wrestling in 6th grade, but actually quit before coming back to the sport. Her brothers were wrestlers, and Claire says that's what drew her to give it a try. May adds it would be great to win a state title in the first year of IHSA Girls Wrestling, but her main focus is on continuing to get better on the mat.
I think I've definitely improved the most on my technique and definitely my confidence because I was scared to do a lot of moves in the beginning, but once I did them, I realized that I'm fine and I can do it.
She's really taken the next step in what we call scrambling in wrestling. With some of those awkward positions of, sliding off a hip, catching an ankle, rolling through, and she's doing a really good job of her scramble techniques. But then, as Claire May always is, always aggressive on top, bottom. She's got the right attitude no matter where she's at.
I feel like just doing the skills that I know and not like stressing about winning or losing, just trying to advance and making sure I do what I know.
Claire has always been a lighthearted person, fun, easy going off the mat, but when it's time to step on the mat, you can see her attitude kind of flick over to say, hey, it's time to go, it's time to wrestle. So, standing next to her pre-match, she's still pretty easy going, but once she hears her name called, ready to step out there, it's a whole new ball game for her.
I feel like last year I didn't really know what to expect, and I was a lot more nervous, and I feel like this year I know what to expect and I know what I can do.
How about that? All right, congratulations to Claire. And don't forget, everybody, Wish TV has a brand new sports app. Make sure you download it today. Everything with all the high school athletes and all the high school sports taking place here in Central Indiana is right there on the All Indiana Sports app. Download it today. It is free. Time for a break, but more still coming your way tonight on The Zone, including our Play of the Week. Plus is the latest installment of Ask the Commissioner with Paul Nydig on the IHSAA. That's next.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Old National Bank.
All right, welcome back to the Zone Extra. Anthony Calhoun here with you tonight. Now it's time to go on campus where we catch up with a former Central Indiana High School athlete of the college level. This week, we head to West Lafayette with the Purdue basketball team. Miles Colvin's role has expanded in his sophomore season with the Boilermakers. The former Heritage Christian High School standout is averaging 6 points and 3 rebounds in over 20 minutes per game for Coach Matt Painter's team while making 8 starts. He's also attempting nearly twice as many shots from three-point range this season. Colvin says part of his expanded role is a different style of Purdue's offense as they play without Zach Edey in the middle.
I don't really think it's really changed. I think it's just our style of play. I mean, I was used to it from last year from playing with Zach, the spacing. So I think that's really what I've gotten better at from last year to this year is my spacing and playing off people, whether that's Fletcher, Braden, or Trey. I think that's something that I've gotten really good at. And just being in those spots where if they can't get to their shot, then I'm there for my shot and just to be a playmaker if I have to. So I think that's something that's really helped me.
Miles has been great to watch there with the Boilermakers. Now it's time for Ask the Commissioner. Each week, we take one of your questions to IHSA Commissioner Paul Neidig and bring you his answer. Here's this week's question. As we start the new year, what are you most excited about in 2025?
I'm excited about the education-based athletics and students' ability to learn. And I'm probably as excited about that today and as I was when I started in this business many years ago. I see so many student athletes out there that do great things in the second phase of their life. And they do it because of the lessons they learned when they are high school students with that jersey on that has their school name on it. And that is it's something that repeats itself year after year. It has since we've been around since 1903, and people grow up, they learn, they have great lessons that take them through the rest of their life. I say the lessons of athletics they're profound, but they're also transferable into every aspect for the rest of their life. And that still today really drives me in this business. And that's something that I look forward to, just to have another opportunity for kids to grow.
Oh, always great to hear from the commissioner. All right, don't forget, you can submit your questions to the commissioner. Send us a tweet. Use the hashtag #TheZoneExtra and hashtag #AskTheCommissioner. You can possibly get your question here on the show. Now it's time to take a look at our play of the week. Each week we feature one of the top plays from the world of high school sports in Central Indiana. Plus, we will tell you how you can get maybe your video featured on a future show. But first, here is this week's top play. You saw it earlier in the show. Number 1, Lawrence Central, and number 2, Hamilton Southeastern tied in the final seconds here. Kayla Brindley, the lob to Addison Van Heusen, who lays it in to win the game for HSE. The Royals now a perfect 17-0 on the year. We, of course, want to see your best plays, too, so send them our way. Don't forget to check it out for possibility to sing your play of the weekend. It could be here on the show. Mighty TV Channel 23 is your local home for all the best high school sports coverage. Coming up tomorrow night, we got a good one here. Ben Davis taking on North Central. You'll see the game Friday, 7:30. On our sister station, Mighty TV Channel 23, so make sure you tune in for that. That's all coming up tomorrow, 7:30 on Mighty TV Channel 23. And it's the big night of high school hoops across Central Indiana as action heats up in the new year. We will have all the scores and highlights tomorrow night on The Zone, starting at 11:08. Let's take a look at some of the games we're going to have featured on the show tomorrow night. We got Fishers Pike LC against HSC, Warren Central, Lawrence North, Marion taking on Carmel, and Southport in action against Center Grove. Tune in 11:08 right here on Wish TV. All right, folks, that's going to do it for the Zone Extra. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget, we're back here next week, same time, same place, same station. We'll see you.